Imagine this. You've just purchased a new house. You're settled in and ready to begin a new life in your dream home. Shortly after moving in, your neighbors begin to ask if everything is okay inside. Unsure of what they mean, you pay it no attention. Then, mysterious things begin to happen around you at night. Weird noises, disembodied voices, cold spots, and things begin to disappear only to reappear in different areas of the home. You guessed it, your home is haunted. Upset, you call the realtor that sold you the home and demand to know why this was never disclosed before you purchased the property. The realtor claims to have no knowledge of this, but if they did, do they have to disclose this? This is the topic of today's video, Stigmatized Property. In real estate, a stigmatized property is a property that buyers or tenants may shun for reasons that are unrelated to its physical condition or features. It is an intangible attribute of a property that may prompt a psychological or emotional response in the part of a potential buyer. These can include death of an occupant, murder, suicide, and belief that the house is haunted. Here's a scary fact. A listing agent may not be required to disclose a stigma on a property unless it is a required state disclosure. Depending on where you live in within the United States, the fact that a property was suspected to have been the site of a homicide, suicide, or death is not a material fact that must be disclosed in a real estate transaction. No action can be taken against a person, including owners, landlords, and real estate licensees for failure to disclose. Certain states, however, require that the seller must reveal if a death in the home has occurred any time in the past 3 years. This includes death by natural causes. One exception is if the previous owner and/or tenants were real hardcore fans of the show Breaking Bad. Stigmas such as a former meth lab are doubly troublesome since they can carry both a market stigma plus can render a property uninhabitable. Let's rewind the clock to before you purchased the home. You're touring the property for the first time, and you love it, but you get a weird vibe as you're walking around. At this point, it falls upon you, the future buyer or tenant, to have your agent ask the listing agent directly if they know of any problems or issues with the property, and they must answer truthfully to the best of their knowledge. A listing agent is not going to advertise a property as haunted or a former crime scene. That's just something that you won't find in the listing description. It's important that you go in with an open set of eyes. If you still feel uneasy about the home, ask for a copy of the seller's disclosure. Sit down with your agent and carefully review everything in its entirety. This can also be useful because this can reveal any unseen issues that you were not aware of while touring the home. So what can you do before you fall in love with that house? Do some research on the property. Make sure the buying agent asks all the right questions. As a listing agent, they are legally obligated to reveal problems with the home if they are aware when they are asked. However, if the listing agent was not aware of any facts regarding the home, then they are not at fault since the seller never disclosed to them any relevant information. You can never go wrong asking the neighbors. The best source of information is and always will be the people who live in and around that house. They see all the comings and goings within the community. There is no harm in tracking down a few potential neighbors that might be walking by and asking them about the history of the home. Google is your friend. A good old-fashioned internet search might turn up a few surprising things. Once you type in the address, you can cross-reference the property with any information that may be relevant to you. Scroll past the first few pages. Try to get as much information from as far back as you can. You never know. You might be surprised that the home you're considering buying was once on the news. Besides Google, there are also websites on the internet that actually specialize in recording deaths in homes. Check with the local police department in the area. Ask them to check their logs for the property address. This can give you a history of police involvement and can help paint a clearer picture of the history of the home if you're that concerned over a stigmatized property. Depending on where you live, this may be free of charge. Do you care that your future home may have skeletons in its closet? This is honestly a personal preference. Some people don't mind as they only see the home as four walls and a roof. Others, however, may not feel comfortable knowing that someone spent their last night in the room that they are sleeping in. Stigmatized properties may appeal to investors as they do not intend to live in the home and only want to flip it for a profit. This is why sometimes you may hear of stigmatized properties referred to as distressed homes.
As a realtor, I can personally tell you that each home has a particular feeling to them as you walk in. Some are very loving and inviting, while others are cold and sterile and just downright creepy. Whatever your preference is, it's always in your favor to use a licensed realtor.